Hey everybody, KC here. So I just finished watching a new series that's on HBO Max, and it's called Wahl Street, W-A-H-L. And basically what it is, they're 25-minute episodes, 6 parts. And basically what it does is it looks at the entrepreneurial life of actor Mark Wahlberg. He's an actor, he's a producer, but he also has his fingers in a lot of different kinds of businesses. The one that's best known is Wahlburgers, the burger chain. But he's also worked on things like there's a brand of activewear, clothing called Municipal. There's a gym chain called F45. He's got a production company. So he's got his fingers in a lot of different things. And basically they started shooting this thing in 2019. And I'm going to tell you, you watch a lot of this thing and it seems kind of shallow and it's kind of voyeuristic because it's also a look at his life as well as his business stuff and his investment strategies. And it's self-aggrandizing. It's his production company that produced it. Interesting guy, I suppose, at some level. I think he's made some interesting choices as an actor. He's made some questionable choices. It's on record as a human being. Maybe this is a kind of rehab to kind of, show how he's supporting smaller companies. In a lot of ways, the whole thing struck me as a sort of a combination of a TV reality show, which it is, but I know that, listen, there's nothing real about TV reality shows. And an episode of the TV series Entourage, which, by the way, Wahlberg produced, but as if it were written by a Wall Street Journal reporter. So, it was what it was. But there were two things that actually grabbed me about it in an unexpected way. First thing was they started shooting it in 2019 before COVID. But they're in the middle of shooting it, COVID hits. And basically the pandemic wreaks havoc on virtually all of his businesses. Almost everything had to shut down. And it didn't just hurt his company, but it also hurt a lot of his franchisees. And I have to say, he seemed to take it very, very seriously. I was sort of, maybe just on camera, but his approach to it was, hey, wait a minute. We got to do our best to make sure that the people who are being affected by this are not going to be as affected as they could be if things totally go south. That's number one. But the thing that really got to me was one of the investments that he's looking at during the show. And he spends his time with Lisa Sedlar, who is the founder and CEO of Green Zebra, which is sort of the healthy convenience store company based in Portland, Oregon. I've always liked the Green Zebra format, and I've always really admired and really liked Lisa. I think she's just a first-class person, heart in the right place, and, she's had some tough business times. It's fascinating. I guess the reason that she decided to do the show, and they take you right through the whole process of her meeting with Wahlberg and trying to work with him to see if he'd like to invest in the company, and she needs investments. I guess the reason she did it is A, maybe there'd be a happy ending, and B, if it didn't work out, maybe she could appeal to other investors because she'd get that kind of publicity. I'm not going to tell you how it turns out. I have to say, but knowing Lisa and knowing Green Zebra, it kind of had me on the edge of my seat. It really did. So those are the two reasons I really, really liked it. I don't know whether to recommend Wahl Street to you or not. But I have to say, I did kind of like it. And there was one bit of advice that Mark Wahlberg uttered during the show that I think is totally worth repeating. At one point, he looks at the camera and he says, the one thing I've learned is that you can never expect things to fix themselves. Because if they were going to fix themselves, well, they wouldn't be all effed up to begin with. And I think that's a really good piece of business wisdom. Anyway, that is what was on my mind this morning. And as always, I want to hear what's on your mind.